Hi everyone. So today we are going to make our own reverse coloring page. I've seen some other YouTubers do this and it was suggested to me on one of my previous videos that I try making my own and see what happens. So that's what we're doing today. And I thought it was better to have some kind of plan, so I went online and looked up some color schemes on Pinterest, and I picked one with some oranges and yellows and teal colors. And then I just went ahead and took my paper and I put water all over it, and then I started plopping in some color. And as you can see, when I put the orange color down, it immediately started reminding me of flowers, so I kind of just leaned into that. As I was doing the actual reverse coloring book pages, I noticed that a large amount of the pages actually look like flowers. And now that I've done this and put the color down, and immediately was like, oh, flowers. I can see why. That is kind of an easy thing to do when you're trying to not have a lot of detail. Which, that part was also a little bit difficult for me, to keep it non-detailed and non-rendered, and that's just the opposite of how I usually paint. So I kept having to remind myself to just keep it looser and not worry about details. So I put a little bit of a sky behind my flowers, and what I did was put down some color and then use a paper towel and lift some of that color back off, trying to make some cloud-ish shapes. And so here's my paper dried, and now I get out my zebra brush pens that I've been using, and I just jumped in and started picking a spot and drawing what I could see. I was trying to be conscious of line weight and thickness to try and convey some suggestion of where the sun might be. I don't know how effective it was, other than just creating a difference in line that looks more pleasing than having all the lines the same thickness. I haven't really done a picture of my own like this, with where you put watercolor down and do the line work over it, since high school. I remember we did do an assignment similar to this in high school, and I remember finding it difficult back then as well. But so this was challenging and something so unlike what I usually do, and I think I'm happy with how it turned out. I mean, it's not like a piece that I'm super proud of, but at the same time I'm happy with it because it is so different, and doing things differently is how you grow and learn more things. So you should never be afraid to try and step out of your comfort zone and just do things that are different. I also ended up having to look up some techniques of how you render certain things with just a pen. I was mostly worried about the clouds in the sky because I wanted to put something in the sky, because having the pen so heavily used on the bottom of the page was making the top of the page look just strange. It was like off balance. So I did look up on my phone techniques of drawing clouds with just a pen, because that is something I have never done before. So I do end up doing that, and it's something I found kind of difficult, but I got a result in the end, so it worked out. And here I'm just going back in a little bit and adjusting some of the thicknesses of the lines like I was talking about before. I feel like knowing when to have a thick line versus a thin line is something that takes some practice to learn. Even in portraits and stuff with line work is the same. You want some areas thicker and thinner, and knowing when to do that is something that I find difficult at the moment. So here's when I start to add in some clouds. And overall, I feel like I got the general idea that yes, that is a cloud. It's not quite the fluffiness that I was picturing in my head, so I do need to practice that and work on that a little more, just trying to get the shapes right and make it seem fluffier. And then here I decided that I kind of wanted something to separate the sky from the foreground of the picture. So just to kind of create some depth and some feeling of where exactly the flowers are. So I decided it needed some mountains or large hills or something in the background. So I added those, and I really feel like that did exactly what I wanted it to, as far as creating some depth and making sense a little bit of the difference between the sky and the ground. And then I put another smaller hill or mountain in front of that one, making some cross hatching, trying to make it darker than the one behind it. Then here's where I'm adding some faraway grass, which is another texture with the pen. I kind of had to look up for some examples as I was unsure how to do that. Thanks for watching my video today. Go ahead and check out my channel for more videos just like this one, and I will see everyone next time. Thank you.